Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? I'm finally leaving Lincoln, heading back home heading back to the town right now, whatever, to handle this trash on my truck. But peep game though. Yo, man, it's one thing to be supportive of an individual. This individual can bring you into your training camp, bring you into his training camp and seek counsel from you, and you know, just lean on you for your expertise, and just really look for you to be his beacon of hope and guidance in the right direction. And it's people who take these positions that they've been appointed to and just can lead the flock the fuck astray. Andre Ward, dog. Oh my lord, my lord. Ain't even the champ, man. Bud. Yo. Listen, man. I can't step on a basketball court and go dunk for dunk with Aaron Gordon, because I can't even dunk. You can't give somebody, you know, expertise on something that they're incapable of doing. You play into their skill set. You play into their you know, their strong suits. Caleb Plant has better feet than Canelo. I don't think anybody would dispute that. Possibly better hand speed as well. Why would you tell this man, why would you even put the thought in his head that he's gonna stop Canelo Alvarez? You gotta think about the type of, you know, the dangers that Canelo's been in. Golovkin was the most devilish puncher in the division. Canelo stood there 10 toes down. I mean, people would say whatever the fuck they want. Oh, he did. I still think Golovkin beats the other champions at 160. And if he moved up to 168, or, you know, not too, a couple of years ago, he'd have had success up there. He'd have been a champion up there as well. Canelo stands, I want to say, from rounds 4 to rounds 24, he stood in front of that man and endured hella punishment from that dude, and never looked like discombobulated and out on his feet. If he got, you know, if he got hurt, he'd go on the defense. He'd go on the defensive, because he's that immaculate defensively to where, all right, I'm hurt, but I can still see the shots coming. So until I get my bearings back, I'll just, you know, I'll use my upper body movement. So even he was, like I said, he was never discombobulated to the point where it was like, man, the ref had to, you know, he's grabbing on the ropes and he's looking like, man, should I jump in and stop this? Should I? It was never like that with the likes of a Golovkin. Caleb Plant has not only has he not fought anybody of that magnitude, but the fighters in which he stepped up, they weren't even like that. Not even close. Why would y'all even put it in his head that, yeah, you gonna, you know, he's gonna stop Canelo? If the stoppage comes because of the boxing lesson that you're putting on him, you're hitting him entirely too much, and he just has no defense for what it is that you're putting on him, different story. Let that come organically. But do not sit here and punk this man's head up like, oh yeah, he's gonna stop him, he's gonna knock Canelo out. Because the likelihood of that happening is so slim. Like I said, I'm not a, you know, I won't just 150%, I won't 100% rule out a knockout for Canelo, or not Canelo, for Caleb Plant. I won't 100% rule it out, but I will most definitely 99% rule that shit out. 99%, I'm 99% sure that he's not gonna knock Canelo Alvarez out. I highly doubt he hurts him like that. So what would, like, you gotta think, man, these is one former pound for pound kingpin and one arguable pound for pound kingpin. How are y'all giving this nigga this advice? Why are you not telling him, all right, yeah, man, we gonna pump the jab, we gonna really, you know what I'm saying, work on setting traps, we gonna work on shiftiness and keeping Canelo off balance so he can't get set? Why are y'all not installing that into him? Now I want to say people get you know, people use the they use these, you know, they play these games in the media, so they, you know, they'll possibly throw your opponent off because everything that's being, you know, spewed in the tabloids, in all actuality, they have something a lot more logical in the game plan. That could be happening. That could be happening. But Caleb Plant is he's on record saying, oh, well, Miguel Cotto's brother can make you do the chicken dance, but I can't. So he has it in his mind that he can go in here and knock this dude out. I just don't get this. I don't get how people can say, I don't understand it, man. Why wouldn't you really focus on sharpening your tools? Why wouldn't you focus on that? Why wouldn't you focus on your attributes that Canelo doesn't have at his disposal in the capacity that you have it? Canelo wishes, if Canelo had your feet, I'd pick him to knock you. I'd pick him to be, he could move up to 100, 175 and possibly even cruiserweight comfortably if he had that amount of footwork of a Caleb Plant. Well, he doesn't. So why would you go in here and try and acquiesce this dude? What do you think is going to happen if you plant your feet and exchange with him? You haven't been in certain fires to where you can find that level of comfort in adversity. You can't. At that level, no. Hell no. Comparable to the likes of a Billy Joe Saunders? No. You're playing yourself, and them niggas is playing you. Even Bud talking about, man, you know, take the Golovkin. Man, you are not Golovkin. You are not Golovkin. Unless you are just that accurate and sharp in the clinch, to where you can stand in the clinch and fire off two and three shot bursts and be out before he gets one off. Nah. Which I highly doubt you're gonna be that, because this man's level of focus is heightened and you pissed him the fuck off. He wants to go in here and do damage to you. He wants to do that. You dig? You keep popping off and doing all this, and not only are you popping off and doing all the goofy shit, now you got Ward and our beloved champion up here giving you bad counsel, or just giving you false senses of hope. If you go in there and you plant your goddamn feet against Canelo Alvarez, that fight will be stopped before the Billy Joe Saunders fight got stopped. That's just the long and short of it. This is the fucking the narcissistic, manipulative pastor amongst the shepherd amongst the sheep. That's what that is. This is what Andre Ward is doing. He's playing you. Ward should know better. Ward should know better. Unless Ward is giving you game on the tactics that he used to overthrown Sergey Kovalev, then what he's telling you is a sense of false hope. But even then, once again, Andre Ward had been through Andre Ward had fought the Carl Fratzes of the world and the Chad Dawsons and shit before he got to Sergey Kovalev. Before he got to Sergey Kovalev, he had been in with adequate competition. Something that you have not. So you can't do it. You can't go in there and do what Andre Ward did. You can't do that. You can't. How is it good? Bro, Canelo has more knockouts than you have fights. He has more knockouts than you have fights. He's knocked out people who are more accomplished than you. What the? With your skill set, you have the tools to possibly pull a rabbit. You have the skill set to possibly pull a rabbit. And you will run the risk of that by going in here and going against your fighting identity. That's suicide, dude. That's suicide. There's no other way around that. Oh my fucking God, man. If you go in there and you think you're gonna sit here and try and fight Canelo and go into these firefights with a Canelo and plant your feet and balls with all combinations, no. Andre Ward, you ought to be ashamed to even saying some shit like that. Bud, you too, goddammit. You are not entering no exchanges with Canelo Alvarez unless you are in a rhythm. Unless you are in a rhythm. And the only time you exchange, you go in there, you exchange, you get 3 shots burst off, and you get right back on your bicycle to get out of the situation. I don't. You cannot like somebody, but you still have to fight smart, man. You still have to fight smart. If you fight smart, who's to say the knockout won't come? My phone is all over the place because it's bumpy ass road. Who's to say the knockout won't come? Who's to say that? What makes you think the knockout won't come if you fight smart? If you say, yo, man, I'm gonna stay on the outside and set traps and use my lateral movement and use my natural capabilities that I have, which is height and length, and use the fact that I have better feet than this dude. Use that. I can land combinations from outside. I can reach him before he can reach me. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you tell him that? Why wouldn't you plant that shit in his head? As sensible as you are, if you're talking about you got the capabilities to knock out a Canelo Alvarez, he's seeking that bit of counsel in you. So he has that, and he already has it in his head about what he said, or, you know, based off of what he said at the presser. Miguel Cotto's brother can make you do the chicken dance, but I can't. This dude already has it made up in his mind that he can knock Canelo Alvarez out. This ain't, you know, he's all the popping off he's been doing for the past year and some change. You need to be calming this man down and say, look, this is the game plan. You don't think his trainer will go and seek advice from you? You're there for that reason. They've never fought on this level before. They have one good win under their belt, which is Jose Uzcategui. He ain't fought no Darrell brothers. He ain't fought no goddamn. He ain't fought none of these dudes. He damn sure ain't fought David Benavidez. He ain't fought no Ronald Ellis. He ain't fought none of these cats. He's fought none of them. None of them. And He hasn't put himself in certain fighters, man, to where the shit that you are talking about he's gonna do, he can do. You need to keep this nigga grounded and let him know, man, this is what we're gonna do. And if the knockout comes organically, I bet. Then we'll go for it. But we're not about to overexert ourselves looking for a knockout that isn't gonna come. Canelo Alvarez's chin has been proven to be granted at this point. He has a real good chin. He takes a real good punch. He hasn't been dropped. He hasn't been visibly hurt by bigger punchers. But you're gonna put your faith that Caleb Plant is gonna be that big puncher to contradict all that. Man, listen, man. Lord, I got love for you. Lord, I got love for you. You the champ. You already know what it is with us here in Omaha, Nebraska. But this shit, that is wild style. That is wild style. Do not get that man bad counsel, man. I mean, that's really there's no more you can even say about that. Encourage that man to use his capabilities, his speed, and his length to his advantage. Let him use that to his advantage. And if the knockout comes by way of that, so be it. Do not encourage this dude to go in there and look for a knockout. Because it's not going to come in that manner. Break this dude down and let the knockout come organically like that. Do not. I can't believe I'm hearing all this shit that y'all trying to. Oh, my camera is wobbly all over the place. You know, it's like Andre Ward, just wobbly all over the place. Just all over the place. I'm saying is this, man, just no, hell no. Hell the fuck no, man. No, fuck. Caleb Plant, use your capabilities to your advantage. Use your better feet, your more educated feet than Canelo Alvarez. Use your length, use your height, use your speed, use your jab, use all that shit from the outside. Pump the jab upstairs, downstairs, upstairs. Do that, and maybe the knockout will come. Other than that, you a fool if you go in there trying to look for a knockout, man. Peace.